jam on toast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to Goonies. This is a review for HairyMovieClub. Go ahead and click here to see Mr. Harry Britt's channel. This is a fun new thing he's starting. It's mimicking SourceFed Nerds Movie Club a little bit, but I think we'll get better titles out of this. So the short sell of this is that a group of kids try to save their neighborhood or town or whatever the hell it is by finding lost pirate treasure. Sounds like a good plan. I love it for this has got to be the in the dark kiss. Just the description of the scene afterwards and everything just made it even better. My hate it for this is that the bad guys are so incompetent. They didn't manage to kill any of the kids. So other than the guy in the freezer, there's no reason they would go back to jail except for the fact that they orchestrated the breakout. The MVP for this one is definitely Jonathan Key Quain, the guy who plays Data. The most adorable part of the movie. I'd love to see a whole runoff series with him and no strange professor who's into whips. Put on the categories. Aesthetics. I'm having a little bit of trouble remembering, but I don't think that Disney was shy on the buck for movies back in the 80s. Granted, it was the 80s, and I don't remember a lot of movies looking like this, but maybe it was because they were in caves and they had weird lighting issues. But it seems very grainy, or maybe it's just the copy that I have. But the production quality didn't seem up to snuff, definitely not by today's Disney standards. They did gather the most lovable group of goofy-looking kids ever since the Little Rascals. Aesthetics gets an 80. Character development. Most of the character development in this is done quick, fast, and dirty all in the beginning, and they just kind of establish, hey, you're the fat, funny guy, you're the loudmouth asshole, you're the big brother, you're the little brother, you're the leader, you're the chick who stands up for herself, and you're the rebel without a cause. And the only real character development we truly seem to get is between Chunk and Lawrence. As they're learning each other, you kind of see them grow together, and ultimately Lawrence is the good guy who wants to help even though he's a bumbling idiot, and Sloth actually gives him the capability where Lawrence helps him articulate. So it's actually a really good pairing throughout the movie. And the other places we see pairings, Mouth and Rebel Girl, and then Andy and the big brother kid. They all pair up together and they develop a little bit, but oh well. More interesting Data use oil on a log to slip up the bad guys. I almost forgot. All the way at the end, you finally see some character development show in the kids with their parents. That's where you really get that warm and fuzzy feeling after they're okay. Character development gets a 60. Storyline. This is a great story. I would put it together with almost any group of actors and maybe even swap up the party and make it an adult story, make it a kid's story, make it a Rugrats story. That would be phenomenal, actually. Though my perfect preference for this is probably a mix between the Goonies and The Descent. Storyline gets a 90. Compulsion. It's amazing how easily rewatchable this movie is. Even after all these times, I grew up as a kid watching it. I watched it again in college a bunch. I've seen it so many times throughout my life, but it's still entertaining, even though it's so dated. And even with the production quality not so great, again, just enjoyable. I think they casted and acted and just directed this in the right place, and they got a gold mine. Compulsion gets a 90. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 80. For my rep review, I've got to say this is a Disney classic as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's going to stand the test of time, though it's probably due for a reboot because apparently we like to do that nowadays. That's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, bite me.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels.